Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be doing this video. I quite literally was in the shower today, scraping from the bottom of my lavender Castile soap, and something just like popped in my head and I was like, oh my God, I should be sharing what I use to keep this feminine hygiene of mine in check. I need to run to the store and stock up. I'm going on a little weekend trip and I do not play with hotel soap, child. That is the one thing that me and my yoni, we don't play those games. So I need to go get my Castile soap because you can stretch that, but not too far. Your hygiene routine is a part of your self-love and self-care routine. So we can start with diet. You want to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. Now, water is just going to make sure that your hoo-ha is on point. She's going to be hydrated, she smell good, and she's going to taste good. And hydrated girls just get the most love. I mean, your skin is going to be happy, your waistline will be happy. I think a rule of thumb is that you can like divide your body weight in half, and that's the amount in ounces that you should be drinking. Am I right? Because my husband is over there. He's working, but he listens too. Now, when it comes to meats, and red meats are bad for you, and fish is, girl, I just started eating steak a few years ago, and I love it. And I haven't seen any changes in my body odor, okay? So I personally don't think that is something you need to really stress yourself out about. But of course, limiting, fast foods that are low quality. You want to eat high quality meats, lots of vegetables. And if you can't get your vegetables in, there are so many supplements and ways that you can squeeze some things in, squeeze a little smoothie in if you have to. Of course, eating fruits. Pineapples are the bomb. And how I incorporate pineapples into my diet is I like to kind of heat them up a little bit, like 30 seconds. And I'll add some Himalayan sea salt and cinnamon. And when I tell y'all, it is bussin'. And if you want to get real spicy, you can add a pinch of cayenne pepper. Just trust me. Of course, if you're eating McDonald's, baby, like, what you think you gonna smell and taste like? McDonald's. And asparagus, okay? Anything with sulfur, just know is going, you won't smell it, okay? So I try to limit foods that I know will, kind of show up in different places. All right, now that we've got the diet out the way, let's get into the shower routine. Now, this is the most important, and I think like being raised with my mama who did not play when it came to how I presented myself to the world, extremely grateful. But I think my mom kind of just made me super conscious about, how I'm announcing myself. And that's the way I smell, the way I look. And the one thing that you need to make sure you have down packed and to be self-aware of is, again, your body odor. So your shower routine is going to be the most important part of your feminine hygiene. Now, I personally don't use any harsh soaps, especially on the love below. I have a very sensitive vagina, and I just try my best to use skin-loving products, period, and especially down there. So my favorite are Castile soaps. These soaps go a long way. I only have to replace them maybe twice or 3 times a year at most. A lot of my friends love peppermint. They are Caribbean and Nigerian. I personally don't want any menthol around my hoo-ha. Again, very, very sensitive. But if you like that feeling, because the peppermint kind of gives you that, oh my God, I'm just clean, I'm closer to God, use it. I personally love lavender. I like to be soothed and relaxed in the shower, and that menthol just gives me, I don't know, it's a sensation that I don't enjoy. But I mean, if you like peppermint soap, let me know in the comments below. What I will do is use my hands. I don't use a washcloth for my vagine, okay? Use my hands, I get all up in there. I have thighs that kind of cover up the hoo-ha, if you know what I'm saying. So I gotta get in the thighs too. Make sure you get in those crevices. That's why I like fingers, especially now that I got short nails. I'm not scratching anything, okay, or poking anything. And washcloths, I know we think they dry and they're clean and they're sanitary, but you just really don't want to be using those on your private areas. I also have a Christina piercing. So that is a piercing on the love below. What I like to do for that is I like to take either like an astringent, like a sea breeze or like a witch hazel, and I'll clean that like every other day on top of cleaning in the shower. Only because those piercings that you have in your private areas, even like your nipple, the bacteria gets trapped on the inside of the skin. So you just want to like move the piercing around and clean the bar, you know, make sure you get, you know, the entire bar clean, because soap and water sometimes just isn't enough. Now, let's get to the backside, okay? I personally have a lot of that. Let's just say it takes some time to get to the good time. And what I like to do, again, is use my hands. I will use the bench in the shower and put a leg up and make sure I really get in the buttock area. You also want to make sure that you are washing your butt crack. That is probably the most overlooked area. Like, you can develop some curd and I don't even know, I think smegma, is that just for males? I think women develop it too. The cottage cheese that you develop in your private areas, yeah, you want to get in the crack. Get in it good. Do not over exfoliate though, because the skin is very sensitive. So you can end up just creating like this overgrowth of skin because you're like, you know, being too rough, too abrasive. So use your hands, okay? And get in there real good. Now, for the underarms, I like to also use my hands only because I'm so prone to hyperpigmentation, y'all. And I used to scrub my underarms, and I was just making it worse. It was all these micro tears. And yeah, so now I use a very sensitive scrub if I do need to exfoliate under the arms. But what I like to do is I get in the shower, I will wash my private areas and crevices first. So the vagine, the bahute, the underarms, and I like to kind of wash those first, and then I go back and let the soap sit. Then I'm gonna take my exfoliating glove, then I'm gonna exfoliate the rest of my body. I mean, in between the toes, make sure you get in between the toes, the ankles, the leg, the knees, okay? Get them knees. I love to exfoliate my arms and my elbows. You just want to be as smooth as possible. You also want to make sure that you are using a pumice stone, I don't know how to pronounce that shit, but on your feet. And I try to use that at least like every other day. Soft feet are a life hack, okay? They don't have to be the prettiest, okay? They don't have to be one color brown girl, okay? Because my toes are definitely 50 shades of brown. But one thing my husband can never say is that they rough and tough, okay? These feet are gonna be soft enough to put on his face if I want to. So make sure you're exfoliating your feet as well. And a pumice stone is the best way because it doesn't allow you to kind of like cut too deep and create calluses. Another thing too, I do not use callus remover when I go to the nail salon anymore. I stopped doing this maybe a decade ago because I realized using callus removers actually made me develop calluses. Like, I didn't have skin that bad to be using it in the first place. Also, do not let them use those metal cheese graters on your feet. All you're gonna do is cause tears in your feet, which are gonna cause you to develop more calluses. So once I wash a few times, I'm gonna rinse off. Another thing that I like to do is add oil in shower. I have stopped doing that as of late because I'm accident prone. So I don't want to have any oil on the shower floor. So what I do is I get out the shower right away and I'll add my oil to my body while I'm slightly wet and then pat dry. That is going to lock the moisture in. And then on areas that I have, you know, I guess like rougher skin, like my elbows, child, and these calves of mine, I will add an exfoliating lotion, which has, I think, salicylic acid in it. Also developing something for you guys, so don't worry, coming soon, okay? TNT, yeah, we're developing a skincare line, which will include, you know, a lot of your shower favorites, because that's something that Tim loves and it's something that I love, and yes. So you heard it first, boo. After I moisturize, I am going to start with my smell goods. Now, I start my smell goods with a body oil. I love very sweet but masculine smelling scents. So I'll be leaning towards like the ouds and the Arabic ouds. And I have this oil called Golden Love, and I apply that to my wrist, behind my ears, underneath my breasts, and in between my thighs. So essentially I apply my oil, I was gonna say essential oils. I apply my oils to my body the same way I would like a diffuser. So anywhere where there's gonna be heat, okay? So like behind my ears, I'm gonna radiate all day because my head is hot. Under the boob, I'm gonna smell good all day in this area because under the boobs are hot. My inner thighs, because they're just kind of, you know, sandwiched all day, I'm gonna smell fresh down there all day because these oils are gonna work for me. Now, the entire time that I'm doing this, my towel is in my butt and in my vagine. I literally leave my towel in these areas until I'm done with my entire body and skincare. And this is gonna make sure that there's no water left over and no mildew. Okay, I know you guys probably just dry. One, you want to make sure your towel is bone dry, and you want to change your towel weekly, sometimes twice a week depending on how often you shower. And two, that towel is going to soak up any of the post shower sweat. You ever like get out the shower and you kind of feel like a little moist even after you dried off? That's what that towel is going to soak up for you. All that extra moisture is not a thick girl's friend. Okay, now post shower, post body oil, lotion, all the good stuff. You can add a little squirt or two of your favorite perfume, but if you're gonna be in the house, I would recommend you wearing something light. You just don't want to be like overwhelming at home, but if you're going outside, splash it on, baby. Splash it on. I like really high-end perfumes and colognes, but I was in Zara recently and I found this one. I don't remember the name, but it's a sweet but sexy scent, and I feel like it's perfect for at home. So I've been wearing that a lot. Like I have it on right now. But mixed with my oil, it is elevated and it lasts a lot longer. Oil is going to be the perfect base if you want a lower quality fragrance to last. And if I'm in the house, we don't want to really do that. It's just a little overpowering, and then it kind of gets stuck in my sheets, and I don't always want to smell that. Okay. Now let's get into this mouth routine, because I feel like this is probably the one thing that stresses me the most. I just don't know, again, why people lack this type of self-awareness, but I'll always know when my breath is not on point. You can taste it. You can literally taste when your mouth ain't right. I don't know about you guys, but kissing has always been hard for me, and this just stems back to my childhood. This disgusting girl quite literally put her tongue in my mouth, and I will never forget the texture of her tongue and the smell of her mouth, and it just scarred me for life. My husband has helped me a lot, but I mean, I couldn't even tongue kiss. Like the idea, oh God, the idea sometimes. I can see a tongue when I even say the word tongue kiss. But anyway, I'm really big on hygiene, like I've said 50 times in this video, especially when it comes to the mouth and swapping spit. I mean, let's just be honest, it's a lot. So when it comes to your mouth, sis, when it comes to your mouth, just get a tongue scraper. This has been the best thing ever. I used to use my toothbrush and brush my tongue, but I really feel like a tongue scraper is going to be ideal for you. What I like to do is I use an electronic toothbrush. I do have a water pick, but it is so messy, so I just use those little tiny green flossers every day. So you want to brush your teeth. I like to slightly brush my gums. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I'm not abrasive when it comes to my gums. Like I'm not like scrubbing them like I'm scrubbing my teeth, but I do like to get right up in the gum line, because I feel like the space where your lips and your gums kind of like that little dark area, I like to get up in there. Oh my God, how could I forget this? Listerine. Okay, so before I start brushing, I take a cap full of Listerine and swish it around my mouth, okay? And I start brushing with the Listerine in my mouth. Major key alert. Okay, so while I'm brushing, I have Listerine in my mouth. So I'm quite literally burning my mouth off, and I don't care. I like it. That's the only burn I like. Remember we talked about the peppermint down there? No, but the Listerine, I will go all the way with that. The spearmint is my favorite. Brushing with the Listerine in my mouth, and then I'm going to spit out. And then I'm going to use my tongue scraper, and you can get these on Amazon, guys. They are so cheap and affordable. I don't use the metal one. I have one that kind of has like bristles on it, and you can scrape on the edge. Lifesaver, okay. Now I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna be like, but what about morning breath? Guys, morning breath happens to the most hygienic people. It's life. It's bacteria. It's gonna happen. But drinking more water will help with your breath, okay? And not going to bed, you know, eating like a garlic knot and not brushing your teeth. I mean, you're gonna wake up and offend your partner. Also, try to keep mints in your bag. Try to keep some Trident sugar-free gum in your bag. You should be maintaining your breath all day. You should be thinking about other people all day when it comes to your breath. Self-awareness, guys. Like, please, like that scars some people for life. I have truly been scarred by some of the cutest folk, and I'm like, you too cute to smell like that. So I gotta shout out my auntie. Hey, Auntie Gloria, how you doing? Well, I have been struggling with deodorant. That's the one thing about your body, it will change on you, okay? And I was using deodorant that had aluminum in it. Sue me. But, you know, the way my underarms smell was really important to me, and I just felt like there was no natural deodorant that worked for me. And this one that my aunt recommended has quite literally been saving my life. I didn't even have to detox with this. Usually I never make it because I try to detox from aluminum based deodorants and my underarms end up getting all dark and chafed and the sweat burns my skin. I have very sensitive skin. But this deodorant, it's from a company called Each and Every. When I tell y'all, just thank me later. I'm gonna put it in the description box. This deodorant, life-changing. I smell so good. I don't smell sweaty ever. I don't smell musty. The true test is gonna be this Atlanta summer, child. We shall see. But I've been on vacation with this deodorant. I've been sweaty here and great. Let's get into the nighttime routine right before you get in the bed, right before you do some adult things. So I don't wear underwear to bed, and one, that's just easy access, okay? You shouldn't be wearing underwear anyway. But if you like to wear underwear, I would recommend you wearing cotton underwear, something super breathable. Try to stay away from synthetic fabrics because that is gonna trap all the moisture that we worked so hard to get rid of. Why we gonna undo all that work? And y'all know showering while thick is a part-time job. Now, prepping for your nighttime activities. If you are drinking your water and minding your business, you may not have any issues with like vaginal dryness. But if that is something that you're struggling with, you can take coconut oil. Again, I am not a doctor, but something that has worked for me in the past is taking coconut oil on your handy dandy pointer. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that helps. One, it's gonna help with any bacteria that you may have in there. And two, it'll just help get the people going. The coconut oil is gonna be your best friend. And if you have any issues with sweating at night, take the coconut oil and put it in those crevices, and that'll help keep the bacteria at bay during the night. Trust me, it works. It's antifungal, and I think it'll definitely be a hack for girls that get a little sweaty at night. I personally sleep in an ice box, so nothing sweating over here. These are just a few of my tips and tricks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be doing a lot more videos like this. I apply the KISS method to as much of my life as possible. But yeah, keep it simple. Try to use very natural products. Be kind to yourself. Understand that you will have bad days. I'm not saying that I have never been funky, but it's just on my micro level. No one can ever say they smelled me, okay? You know, you're gonna have some days. We are human, and there are elements that you just can't control, obviously. But I pride myself on being a very good smelling woman, and I do think that these tips and tricks have helped me so much, especially the towel trick. If you have any video ideas, please be sure to let me know down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I mean, if you watch my last video, you guys know one of my boundaries is you watching this and not being subscribed. I just don't understand why. So just sub. It takes 2 seconds. And turn that notification bell on because YouTube plays sometimes. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me go take my sweet smelling self over there to my husband. Okay.